normalize the bulge. We are normalizing the bulge. Women can have bulges, and that's okay. We're not gonna stare at their crotches while they're wearing their little shopping shorts at the mall.
What is going on, everybody? Wired here. I hope you guys have an excellent, wonderful day. And yes, it's a day that ends in Y. So once again, I'm back to talk about the Budlight boycott. And a source here from Outkick: Budlight suffers one of the worst weeks yet. It's sick and infecting others. And I think this is absolutely true. Budlight Anheuser-Busch stock is completely tanking. People are completely sick about this whole thing. And this is not just the whole internet genre going ham over this. I actually have firsthand research on this topic from going to a wedding over the weekend, which was my cousin's wedding. Beautiful wedding. Bride was radiant. Ceremony was very good. Food was great. A lot of good speeches. But one thing I didn't see was nobody was drinking any Anheuser-Busch products. In fact, I think one person was drinking a Bud Light product and they got, heckled for it. And, rightly so. People aren't, people who are not chronically online like myself are actually taking note of this. It's a thing and people are very worried about it. Bud Light just suffered one of its worst weeks yet amid the Lord Voldemort disaster, with sales plunging over 24% for the week ending in May 23rd compared to the same week last year. Poor them. That's worse than last week, which some believe was the first sign of ongoing Bud Light boycott loosening its grip. However, numbers tanked again most recently, according to Bump Williams Consulting, which pointed to a larger issue in its analysis. Quote, Bud Light is sick, unquote, Williams said. Quote, it's now infected other healthy brands with an InBev portfolio, and that's a bigger problem in my mind. If Bud Light doesn't stop the bleeding now, it runs the risk of losing the entire 3 months of the high demand of beer. And obviously what Williams here is referring to is the summer months, from Memorial Day pretty much to Labor Day, where, I guess beer sales do take an uptick. But hopefully Bud Light can recover from that. I don't think they will, because I think they're too woke. They haven't issued a real apology. They've pissed off the other side with this whole, well, we're not really aligned with Mulvaney. It wasn't really, it was just a one-time thing. We just put the face on a can. And they haven't really come out with any, and they've fired their VP of marketing. They fired the person who was in charge of them. It was Heinrich Knight and David Blake. I always forget his name. I'm sorry. But it's not too good a thing. They're not really looking too good. They're not looking too hot. And it's not going to make people forgive it on either side, I don't think. And people always talk about this being a conservative boycott. And I don't think it is. I think it's maybe a conservative boycott, but also a moderate boycott, sensible leftist boycott. A boycott for anyone who doesn't want this leftist politics, this trans ideology shoved down our throats in every possible place that you can look. We've seen this with Maybelline, Nike, Adidas. The list goes on and on and on. And people get sick of it. They really do. And I just don't think most people who live in reality anyway, want to see this stuff completely crammed down their throats. So woof, not the best way to start a Monday. While Bud Light sales continue to plummet around the country as we near the 2-month mark of the Mulvaney disaster, the fallout is now spreading like wildfire under the Anheuser-Busch umbrella. Michelob Ultra sales were down 2.9% versus a year ago, according to Williams' analysis of Nielsen IQ data, while Budweiser has been down nearly 10% each of the past 2 months. Elsewhere, Busch Light was down nearly 7% after being down just 0.3% the previous week, while Natural Lights were down nearly 3%, which that is a way they can actually come back from this, because not everything in the Anheuser-Busch catalog is under Bud Light. So although Bud Light might face plummet at a cool 30% or 29% as it is in the Colorado region, Midwestern region, I guess, of the United States, it might be able to recover from its other brands. But, the savvy consumer will wise up to that as well and probably not consume their products either. The nation's top-selling beer brand has lost $110 million in sales volume year to date compared to the same period last year, according to Williams. While the number of Bud Light cases sold was down 28.4%, which if it's 28.4%, I'm sorry, that's a lot more than $110 million. Yikes. And if you think the folks over at Coors are feeling bad for their competitors, think again. Coors Light was up a staggering 23.2% last week. Modelo went from 5% to 10% increase over the past 2 weeks. So much for that light at the end of the tunnel. Definitely true. Molson Coors is also running into some issues, as I've reported on before. And then we have this spicy article, pretty much. Bud Light buying back unsold expired beer from wholesalers as sales continue to suffer, report. Now, I want you to just think about it. Has this ever happened I'm sure it has, but in the history of beer as I know it, in Budweiser, Bud Light buying back beer because they can't sell it, because it sits on the shelves, and this is going to cost them more money. Just the way, this is catastrophic. This is going to make distributors worry about buying from them again. Well, we can't sell the product. Why would we stock it? Pretty simple, no? Like I said, Bud Light wants to, or Anheuser-Busch, they want to say they're going to put 3 times the marketing value into the brand over the summer. And that probably would gain back a few people. I'm sure it will. But there are some people who will never drink this brand again. Travis Trent, Kid Rock, Tucker Carlson, maybe. I don't know. A lot like, who's the governor of Florida? Ron DeSantis. You know, a lot of conservatives, I think, are completely done with this brand. And they got nobody to blame but themselves. Although I'm sure they'll try to blame everybody else. You know, because that's how it goes. Bud Light has reportedly informed wholesalers it would buy back unsold beer once it expires if this company continues to face backlash from its polarizing pact with Dark Wizard influencer Lord Voldemort. The Wall Street Journal published a lengthy feature on the company's struggles after conservatives across America have ditched Bud Light over the saga that began in March, when Voldemort publicized that the beer company sent packs of Bud Light featuring the Dark Wizard's face as a way to celebrate a full year of wizardhood. Girlhood. I do like that the article said girlhood and not womanhood, because Voldemort does think he's a 6-year-old girl. Backlash was swift, and the promotion is now considered one of the most polarizing in the history of the digital space. Probably the most polarizing, in all honesty. Now it seems parent company Anheuser-Busch is taking steps to help wholesalers who have taken a hit. The brewer recently told its wholesalers that it would buy back unsold cases of beer that have gone past their expiration date, the Wall Street Journal reported. Which, hey, listen, that's great for them. And I am glad to see them sticking by their distributors, their consumers, stuff like that. However, that's only going to make their stock go more in the negative. And that's just the truth of the matter. The fact is, this has been completely catastrophic on all levels. They're getting slammed on both sides. There's nothing they can do from the left or the right to make, this right, to make it back. It's going to take time. And hopefully time will heal it because, so far it's only been about 7 weeks, but so far it hasn't happened. Like I said, I think I applaud all of you. Everyone who was Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light, Budweiser drinker who has stopped capitulating to this woke nonsense. You're the real heroes, the real patriots. Thank you for standing up for, conservative values, Christian values, American values, just sensible values, actually. You guys are the real heroes of this whole story. And I definitely applaud you for it. But that's all I got for this video. Leave a like on the video if you could. Subscribe to the channel. And I will catch you all in the next one. Appreciate you for listening this long. Later.